Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL lately, you know that the landscape is shifting, and perhaps no team is feeling that more than the Green Bay Packers. There's a lot of buzz around what could be a game-changing move, and it involves none other than the Carolina Panthers and their star defensive tackle Derek Brown. That's right, rumors are swirling that the Panthers, currently struggling at 1-6 with a run defense that's been allowing 1 yards per carry, are preparing to make a bold trade. And the target, Derek Brown, a player who's not only a cornerstone for Carolina but also a potential game-changer for the Packers' defensive front. The Panthers, as we know, are in full rebuild mode. Their roster is a mix of young prospects and veterans, but their defense, especially the run-stopping unit, has been a clear weak point. With Brown's value skyrocketing, they're reportedly willing to part ways, trading him to Green Bay in exchange for a second-round pick in 2026 and a third-round pick in 2025. This kind of move isn't just about acquiring a talented player. It's about reshaping the identity of the Packers' front seven and taking a significant step toward contending again. The trade, if it happens, will free up around $16 million in cap space, giving the Packers more flexibility to rebuild and make strategic moves in the coming seasons. Now, let's talk about Derek Brown himself, because this isn't just any defensive tackle. Brown, who's just 27 years old, is a dominant force on the field. Standing at 6'5" and weighing 320 pounds, he's a massive presence inside, and his PFF grade of 91. 6 over his career shows just how consistent he's been. In 2025, up until October 25th, he's accumulated 68 tackles, including 8 tackles for loss, along with 4-5 sacks. But what really sets him apart is his run defense grade, an impressive 92.8, and his ability to stuff the run with a league-leading stuff rate of 12%. He's also been double-teamed 68% of the time, which speaks volumes about how teams have to game plan around him. Brown's impact isn't just about stats, it's about what he brings to a team's scheme. His ability to anchor the defensive line and disrupt interior blocking schemes can elevate the entire defense. For the Packers, this means plugging a hole that's been a concern this season. Currently, they're allowing 4-5 yards per carry, ranking around 18th in the league, a number that needs improvement if they're serious about making a deep playoff run. The addition of Brown could push that number down significantly, perhaps close to 3-7 yards per carry, improving run-stopping efficiency by roughly 22%. That's a game changer, especially considering how much the Packers rely on a solid run defense to control the clock and set up their passing game. Now, it's important to highlight the current state of the Packers' interior defensive line. Kenny Clark, their veteran nose tackle, remains a key piece, but the injury status of their other interior players has been a concern. Wyatt, for instance, has been questionable, battling a rib injury that limited him to just 62% of the snaps. That's not ideal, especially when facing teams with power running games. Adding Derek Brown would give Green Bay not only a top-tier talent, but also a versatile anchor who can command double teams and free up edge rushers like Preston Smith or Rashan Gary to pin their ears back and rush the passer. And speaking of pass rushers, Brown's presence inside could open up lanes for other players to get after the quarterback. His ability to occupy multiple blockers and generate interior pressure is reminiscent of some of the best defensive tackles in recent history. His 4-5 sacks this season might not jump off the page compared to edge rushers, but his disruptive impact is felt far beyond the box score. When he's on the field, the run defense is markedly improved, and the entire scheme becomes more cohesive. Let's also consider Brown's career trajectory and what he's brought to Carolina. Since entering the league as a first-round pick, he's been a consistent presence on the defensive line, earning a Pro Bowl nod for his 2024 season. His stats include 320 tackles and 28 sacks over his career, along with 12 passes defensed, which shows he's not just a run stuffer, but also someone capable of getting after the quarterback and making plays on the ball. In 2024, he's been particularly impactful, with a run defense grade of 92.8, making him one of the top interior defenders in the league when healthy. What's also interesting about this potential move is its timing. The NFL trade deadline is approaching, and teams are always looking to bolster their rosters for a playoff push or a full rebuild. For the Packers, a team that's sitting at 5-2 and eyeing a deep postseason run, acquiring a player like Brown could be the piece that pushes them over the top. Their defense, which currently ranks around 18th in run defense, could jump into the top 5 with his addition. This would complement their existing stars like Kenny Clark and give them a formidable front that's difficult to run against. Now, turning our attention to the Carolina Panthers, because they're not just giving away Brown without expecting something in return. Their quarterback situation with Bryce Young has been a mixed bag. His QBR of 74.2 has shown flashes, but there's room for growth. The offensive line has struggled, allowing an average of 4 sacks per game, which hampers their offensive consistency. Carolina's strategy involves building around Young, but they also need to address their defensive needs, especially in the trenches. Trading Brown for draft capital and cap space makes sense for them in their rebuild, particularly since they're also looking to extend players like Chuba Hubbard, whose contract could benefit from the cap space freed up by this move. However, there's some skepticism surrounding Brown's injury history, especially his knee injury in Week 4 that caused him to miss 2 games. But recent performances, like his 10-tackle game against the Saints in Week 8, show that he's bouncing back strong. If the trade goes through, it's a win-win situation for both sides. Carolina gets to accelerate their rebuild, and Green Bay gets a top-tier interior defender who can be a centerpiece for years to come. From the Packers' perspective, this move isn't just about plugging a hole. It's about re-establishing their identity on defense. With Brown anchoring the middle along with Clark, the Packers can significantly improve their run defense, which is a critical factor in their overall success. Their current run defense allows about 4-5 yards per carry, ranking around 18th in the league, but with Brown, that number could drop closer to 3.7, making them a nightmare for opponents trying to run the ball. This improvement could elevate their overall defensive ranking into the top 5, especially in rushing defense, which is crucial in playoff football. And if we look ahead to the playoffs, the impact of adding Derek Brown becomes even clearer. Their Super Bowl odds, which are currently around +7.0, could improve substantially, possibly down to +3,800. Brown's ability to influence games in the trenches, especially against run-heavy teams like the Eagles, who are averaging 4.9 yards per carry, makes him a real X-factor. His presence could be the difference-maker in close playoff games, helping the Packers control the clock, limit their opponents' possessions, and protect leads. The projection is optimistic. Adding Brown could mean an extra 8 wins in the regular season, turning the Packers into serious NFC contenders. This move also echoes some of the most legendary trades in recent NFL history, like the Rams acquiring Ndamukong Suh in 2018, which significantly boosted their interior pressure and contributed to their deep playoff run. For Green Bay, acquiring Brown isn't just about one season. It's about laying a foundation for sustained success. It's about creating a team that can compete at the highest level, especially in the playoffs, where interior pressure and run defense often decide the outcome. Looking at the broader picture, this trade signifies a shift in the Packers' approach. They're not just content with a decent defense. They want a top-tier, disruptive, and versatile unit that can challenge any offense in the league. Derek Brown fits that mold perfectly. His addition, paired with Clark and the other defensive pieces, could transform their defense into one of the league's best, making their Super Bowl aspirations even more realistic. It's a statement move, a bold step that shows the Packers are serious about contending now and in the future. In conclusion, folks, this potential trade is more than just a move. It's a statement of intent. The Green Bay Packers are aiming to reassert themselves as NFC contenders, and acquiring Derek Brown could be the catalyst that propels them to new heights. It's a strategic, bold move that could have ripple effects across the league, especially in the NFC North and the playoff picture. For the Packers fans out there, this is an exciting time. The defense, which has been a work in progress, could see a significant upgrade, and the team's Super Bowl chances could get a serious boost. Keep your eyes peeled, because if this trade happens, it's going to be one of the most talked about moves of the season. And remember, with players like Brown anchoring the line, the Green Bay Packers are positioning themselves as true title contenders once again. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Derek Brown is the missing piece for a deep playoff run? Or do you believe the Packers should focus on other areas? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this on the horizon, the Packers are definitely making a statement. Thanks for sticking with us, and as always, go Pack Go.